Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take a whole stack of your sources and try to build you a concise, well-informed mental roadmap. And today, we are strapping in for a really deep dive into the architecture of the TR-1000 live rhythm machine. To really get the significance of this thing, you kind of have to look back at its roots.
Oh, absolutely.
The ancestors of the TR-1000, we're talking the 1970s, they weren't really made for the stage.
No, not at all.
Yeah, they were.
They were for organ players, simple accompaniment boxes.
Right. Primitive, chirpy little analog things, sometimes in a case that looked more like, living room furniture than a piece of pro gear.
And that history, that's the core rhythm machine DNA. But the TR-1000, well, it's the full evolutionary leap from that. We're not looking at an accompaniment tool anymore.
Not even close.
We're looking at a modern professional instrument. It's engineered from the ground up to be a complete, self-contained powerhouse for live performance, for direct-to-audio recording.
And that's our mission for today, right?
Yeah.
To really dissect how one single unit can provide that level of dynamism. And the developers, from the very beginning, they signaled this huge philosophical shift. They said the TR-1000 was the first TR machine to offer true off-grid capability.
Which is huge. That, alongside things like per-track shuffle, tells you everything.
It tells you they were moving away from those, the super rigid, quantized patterns of the past.
Precisely. They are deliberately moving toward a more humanized, complex, almost imperfect kind of rhythm. This whole machine is designed to make a pattern sound like a living, breathing performance, not just a static loop.
And it does all of that inside the box.
All internally.
Okay, so let's unpack this architecture, because for a single unit, the depth here is just immense. I think we have to start at the top with the hierarchy.
Yes, how it organizes everything. It all starts with the project.
The project.
Think of the project as your entire album, or maybe your whole live set for a tour. The TR-1000 can hold 16 of them.
16 total projects.
And each one of those is the main container. It holds 128 kits, 128 patterns, all your instrument data, your song arrangements. It's a massive sandbox before you even start making sounds.
So if the project is the album, then nested inside that is the kit, and the kit would be, what, the drum setup for one specific track?
Exactly right. A kit is a collection of 10 instruments. Those are your actual drum sounds, plus all the global settings for things like reverb, delay, and master effects.
And with 128 kits per project, you have this enormous amount of flexibility ready to go.
Instantly recallable, yeah.
Okay, this brings us to the sound engine itself. It's not just pure analog. It's not a pure sample machine.
Yeah.
It's a true hybrid.
It is. That's the heart of its identity, really.
Yeah.
There are 10 total tracks, and they're split into 2 main categories based on how they generate sound.
Okay.
You have 4 layer tracks. That's your bass drum, snare, low tom, high tom, and then 6 single tracks for everything else, like cymbals, rim shots,
So why that distinction, layer versus single? What's the deal with the layer tracks getting 2 sound generation layers, A and B?
So the layer tracks use 2 complete sound generators, or GENs as they call them, and it's really for advanced sound design. You can stack them, you can blend them. You could use layer A for just the transient, the click of the kick, and layer B for the body.
I see.
But here's what's crucial for performance. Those 2 layers can be programmed separately in the sequencer.
Oh, wait. So my one kick drum track can actually trigger 2 completely different sounds.
On adjacent steps, yep. It means you can add this immediate, really sophisticated complexity to what might otherwise be a basic 4-on-the-floor beat.
That makes so much sense. It's not just a layering tool for sound. It's a rhythmic tool.
Exactly.
And the types of generators available within these layers, that really shows off the hybrid nature you mentioned.
The variety is staggering. You have true analog generators, which are based on revised 808 and 909 circuits. Then you have ACB modeling.
Which is their proprietary tech, right?
Right. They're component-level modeling that recreates all the little quirks of the original hardware. Then you add in FM synthesis, hundreds of PCM samples, and the ability to load over 2,000 of your own user samples.
So it's not just sonic breadth, it's sonic depth. You're not locked into one family of sounds.
Not at all. You can have a classic ACB 909 kick, a weird FM snare, and a custom chasseur you recorded yourself, all running in the same kit. And here's the key takeaway for you, the performer. All of those individual instrument settings, the generator you chose, the filter, the amp, the FX, all of that can be saved to a global instrument bank.
And then you can pull it into any other kit.
Any kit in any project. It guarantees consistency. It means your signature kick drum travels with you seamlessly when you're moving between tracks in a live set.
That structural integrity is absolutely vital if you're planning on just recording straight to audio. Okay, so we know what it sounds like. How does this thing move? Let's get into the sequencing tools that add that human swing.
This is where we go beyond just static programming and get into dynamic performance. And the first key feature is per-track shuffle.
Per track.
So you have a master shuffle control, but now you can go in and individually tweak the shuffle intensity for every single track, from a negative value all the way to a positive one.
I love that idea of negative shuffle, pushing a hi-hat track just slightly ahead of the beat, while maybe the kick is dragging just a little behind.
That's it.
That gives you this microscopic control over the micro-timing. It's how you create those grooves that are just irresistible.
It creates that push and pull that our ears love. But the feature that really unlocks this non-destructive variation is step probability. PROB for short.
Step probability. So walk me through how a performer would use this in a high-pressure live situation.
It's simple. You set a value, say 50%, for any given step in your sequence. Now, that note will only play back half the time, randomly.
So the main pattern is still looping.
The main pattern is repeating constantly, but the sound that comes out is always changing. You get complexity and unpredictability without ever having to stop the sequence or rewrite your core pattern.
It's like having a little ghost drummer in the machine, a variation generator that stops the 16-bar loop from getting stale.
Exactly. It's essential for any kind of extended performance or improvisation. And if we're talking dynamics, we have to mention velocity and accents.
Right.
The velocity range is 1 to 127, but the machine is smart about it. It functionally splits it into two tiers. Weak, which is 1 to 60, and normal, 61 to 127.
That separation, weak versus normal, that's a great little detail. It changes how you program ghost notes. It ensures those quieter hits still have definition and don't just get lost.
It gives them their own space. And accents, which are adjustable from 0 to 100%, they act like a global performance macro. They just boost the volume on any step you've marked.
So you can instantly add energy to the pattern.
Instantly.
Okay, so beyond the note level, let's talk arrangement. How do we build a full song structure inside this single box?
Well, every pattern has 8 main variations, labeled A through H. Think of them as your verse, your bridge, your chorus, and then you have 4 dedicated fill-ins for transitions.
And the variation chains feature is what ties it all together for a live set, isn't it?
It streamlines the whole flow. You just press and hold multiple variation buttons, say A, B, and C, and the machine automatically links them. It chains them for seamless playback.
So you can build these long, evolving sections from shorter, more manageable phrases.
You're creating structure on the fly. And those fill-ins, those little bursts of excitement, you can trigger them manually, or you can set them to fire automatically every 2, 4, 8, up to 32 measures.
Wow.
That level of pre-programmed flow control, mixed with the real-time tools like probability, is what makes the TR-1000 feel like a complete band director in a box.
Okay, now let's get to the really hands-on stuff. The features that scream live performance, recording your physical knob tweaks, as we're talking about motion recording and snapshots.
Motion is how you breathe life into the sound design itself. It captures your real-time knob movements, turning the tune, the decay, the mix, effect controls, and it records that movement as data.
So it plays back along with the notes.
Per track and per variation.
So if I want my hi-hat decay to slowly open up over 4 bars and then slam shut, I just perform it once. And it's locked into the sequence.
Exactly. It's automating your sound design as part of the performance. And then snapshots take that idea and make it instantly recallable. In snapshot play mode, you save specific knob positions to the step keys.
Like saving a scene.
Precisely. Up to 6 different knob positions for the layer tracks, 3 for the single tracks.
And the power move, I'm guessing, is that you can record those triggers.
That's the power move. You can trigger those saved snapshots live, and the machine records those triggers directly into your sequence as motion data. It lets you create these really complex parameter sweeps on the fly without having to manually perform them every single time.
But for pure physical control, the one dedicated tool that seems built for dramatic shifts is the MRPH slider.
The MRPH slider is the centerpiece. I mean, it solves a fundamental problem in live electronic music, which is how do you make multiple complex changes smoothly and at the same time.
Right.
You save 2 completely different sets of parameter values across multiple tracks into one of 16 morph slots.
So you have a state A and a state B.
And then that one single physical slider smoothly moves between them. You can execute these huge kit-wide sonic transformations, like going from a dry, tight kit to a massive, reverbed out, tuned down sound all with one finger.
which is crucial for a straight-to-audio performance.
Hmm.
You need that immediate fluid transformation without any lag.
It's made for that.
I hear you on that, but
Yeah.
if you're transitioning between two really complex states, let's say radically different filter settings and decay times, how do you stop the sound from just turning into mud in the middle of the morph?
Well, that's kind of the beauty of it. The strength is in how you design the morph slots themselves. Because you're defining the start and end points so precisely, you are the one controlling the boundaries.
So you set your own guardrails.
You set your own guardrails. I mean, sure, you can definitely design your state B to morph into sonic mud if you want to, but the point is that the performer defines that entire range. It's less about preventing accidents and more about enabling these huge intentional changes that would be impossible to do manually.
Got it. Okay, moving away from automation, the immediate controls are really smart. You've got mute, obviously, but also that highly specialized cue function.
Cue is a professional lifesaver. It sends whatever tracks you select only to the headphone jack.
For isolated monitoring.
Yep. You can be silently setting up your next transition, tweaking a sound, fixing a mistake, and the audience hears none of it. Your main mix-out stays perfectly clean.
And we can't forget the roll functions.
No, they're right there on the front panel, instantly accessible. You can just trigger these rapid-fire drum patterns, 16, 30-second, 64th notes on the fly. Great for fills and building energy.
It makes a step sequencer feel more like an instrument you can actually play.
That's the goal. It gives you that manual performance feel.
All right, let's bring it all together with the final piece. Signal flow and integrating external gear. The TR-1000 is clearly built to be the mixing hub for a minimal live rig.
Absolutely. The effects architecture is baked right into the kit structure. You get 14 types of master effects, MFX. That includes classics like the FFEP Comp P76, that really punchy compressor sound, but also modern stuff like scatter.
And then there's the dedicated analog effects, AFX section.
Right, with its own physical filter and drive knobs. You can apply those to the master signal, or you can even route them to individual tracks. It gives you that hands-on, immediate tone shaping.
It really does turn the machine into its own self-contained sound lab. But the real creative mixing weapon seems to be the sidechain dynamics.
It's so powerful.
So how does that internal sidechain work?
It's using the sequencer, right?
It uses the actual note data, the rhythm of one track, which you call the source, to control the volume of another track. You can set the polarity to DUCK, which is that classic pumping effect.
The kick drum makes the synth pad dip in volume. Exactly. Or you can set it to gate, which only lets the other track's signal come through when the source track is triggered. It uses the rhythm itself as a creative dynamics tool.
And that avoids having to bring external compressors and deal with complicated routing in a live setup.
Completely. And for performers who use more than just the drum machine, the external in-jacks are critical. Stereo or 2 mono channels ready to go.
And once that audio from, say, a synthesizer comes into the TR-1000, it's immediately part of the whole ecosystem.
The whole thing. It can be sampled, it can be sent to the reverb and delay, and crucially, it can be processed by the master effects, the analog effects, and
it can be controlled by that sidechain.
You got it. It instantly turns the TR-1000 into the processing and effects console for your entire setup.
And finally, just looking at the back panel, the sync options just cement this whole self-contained philosophy. It's not just relying on USB or MIDI.
It's the full command center for time. You have MIDI in, out, UT, and THRU, of course. You have the older DIN SYNC for vintage gear, and then a full set of CV gate jacks for talking to Eurorack modular systems. It's designed to be the absolute master clock for any generation of gear you can throw at it.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, the person performing live? I mean, the TR-1000 is so much more than a pattern player. It's designed for deep, real-time manipulation using tools like motion, snapshots, and that incredible MRPH slider. It uses its own hybrid engine and clever sequencing like step probability and per track shuffle to let you make these fluid, non-destructive changes on the fly. It really is a complete live production powerhouse ready for a straight-to-audio session.
I think the core power is in that phrase, non-destructive fluidity. The machine just fundamentally understands that static loops get boring fast, and it gives you every tool you need, from probability to morph to vary your sound and rhythm in real time without ever having to hit stop. It delivers spontaneity without sacrificing structure.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's leave you with this thought. The machine offers 3 different sync options for an external trigger input sync, start, head, and clock. And it lets you adjust the global sync delay from -100 to +100 steps.
A huge range.
So how might you, as a live performer, use those precise timing offsets and the CV gate outputs to purposely build rhythms that are slightly ahead of, or maybe dragging behind, an external drummer or a DJ? Could you use those micro-timing shifts to create a unique humanized rhythmic push or pull, almost making the machine sound like it's struggling to keep up, but for a really cool creative effect, something to chew on as you explore what this single unit can really do?